So I'm going to share 5 different steps on how to promote your book. You can take it and make it double. You can choose what works for you best. So the first thing I would do is build an online presence. It could be via creating a website for yourself, for the book, or a blog or a blog. And you can promote this website by your social media. Increase your social media presence, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, whatever works best for you. Increase and build that social media presence. The third one under this would be to build an email list and create that community around you where you're sharing information about your book. And by this email list of people would be your special go-to people, your community that supports you the most. You can nurture them and create this list and give them updates, exclusive content, or promotions or launch promotions. You can give that advance notice to them, and that they will become your supporters. One thing I have done is creating the website, the blog, the social media. I thought I could do a better job at creating that email list. It works like a charm. So creating an author website ahead of time works well. So if you are publishing your book, say in June, I would start 3 months before that. Time it 3 months before so that you are building up that presence at least 2 to 3 months before. And giving information about your journey, about your book, what the content of the book is, and preparing your audience and creating more sort of a supportive group around you. You can also talk about where you'll be publishing your book, where you can get the book, maybe in a store, online, Amazon, and then you can also start giving the links to purchase that book over there. Social media is wonderful in promoting your book. First of all, it is free. Secondly, you can create as many vlogs, blogs. You can share information. You can share chapters. If you want to, you can share as much information about your book and create that content online. Secondly, this is tying into that first one, creating captivating video trailers. If you are going to create content on video, I have done that on Instagram and I've shared it in Facebook on how to promote your book. Again, short, captivating videos that introduces your book's theme and content. A lot of people might not know what I'm going to write or what are the contents of the book. So creating short videos can let them know what I'm going to write in the book, what to expect. And videos resonate better than long emails. I feel that people look into videos, and if it's a 30-second video, that can be more engaging to the audience. Another one is quotes from your book, quotes or excerpts from your book, sharing those engaging content from your book on social media and blog. And the other one is behind the scenes. I don't know if you can see that. Sharing behind the scenes stories. Share stories of your writing process. What got you to write the story? If it's a fictional story, you can talk about content development, how you developed the characters. What was in your mind when you were developing those characters? What inspired you to write this book? All of these can be done before the publishing happens, or it can be done while you are publishing or after. That can be an ongoing process. People like to know your personal stories as well. So it builds your network and creates that anticipation of they will want to know your character a little bit better if it's a fictional story. that creates some anticipation on what's to come. So if you can share behind the scenes, you can share quotes or excerpts from your book, and video trailers are wonderful ways of promoting a book. I can share some of the things that I have done. So my book was published during COVID. It was in 2020. And this is something that I created on social media. Distance physically and connect socially. And your network is your net worth. So this is something that I created for promoting the book. Third point that I'd like to talk about is leveraging on reviews and endorsements. The advanced review copies, before you even publish the book, I published my book on Amazon. So before you are publishing it to the public, you can send this book for reviews, endorsements, or testimonials. You can send it to bloggers, you can send it to people that you know, book influencers, or media outlets for reviews. And testimonials are huge. You can take those testimonials and put it on your Facebook page or your LinkedIn, Twitter, or your social media pages before the official launch. That is huge to get testimonials from people who are who have a name in the community as well and who are social influencers. Goodreads and Amazon reviews as well. I realized that Amazon reviews, getting your reviews on Amazon is another great way of getting people to talk about your book. These are all free methods of actually encouraging readers to actually come to your book, know more about your book as well. So encourage readers to leave reviews on Amazon, Goodreads, and other platforms. I saw some reviews about myself on Goodreads and Amazon. I did not ask them. It came very organically, but you can also ask people to put reviews on Amazon and Goodreads. You can seek endorsements from other authors or excerpts in the book in the same genre or in the field. And this can be used as marketing materials as well. I know if you are an introvert, it can be hard to seek those endorsements, but you have to be forthcoming and you have to ask for those endorsements, and you cannot be shy. And the fourth one would be engaging with readers. You can host virtual events or physical events. In my case, most of my events were online. In 2020, there were a lot of events that were happening only online, and most of my events were online. You can host either physical events or book launch events, signings, or readings to engage directly with your audience. You can book some events which are book reading events. You can read a chapter of your book and you can have a discussion on that chapter. My book is geared towards, it's not a narrative story, it's not fictional. It is mostly sort of giving directions on how to go about with an interview or go about on writing a good resume. So it is mostly bulleted and mostly giving directions. In my book, what I could have done is I could have had, for my book, I could have had an event where I'm reading one chapter about a resume. A lot of people are looking to create a better resume. I could read one chapter and answer questions. So I've had a few sessions that I've done for free. This would be a Q&A session for people who want to actually write better resumes. So I've had those kinds of events. Those are all free. All of the points that I'm mentioning does not involve a lot of investment for you other than your time and effort. There's not a lot of dollars involved in this. And participating in book clubs and writing communities and reader groups online and offline. You can offer to attend their meetings either virtually or in person to discuss your book. So both parties are actually benefiting from that event. Q&A sessions give the readers a direct chance to interact with the writer and ask questions, clear their mind of any doubts, and go from there and get to talk to them one-on-one. So that can be beneficial for you as well as the readers. So I'm sharing some of these events that I've done. These might look like pictures of myself, but these are events that I'm preparing myself for. On the left-hand side, this is an event conducted by CCN, Canadian Career Network, that was done on via Facebook. It was live on Facebook, and I've had a lot of viewers on that. And secondly, the second event here was on for SIVA, and one was for CCIS, which is a Catholic community for immigrant services. Those were my audiences that I needed to reach to. So I had a lot of events online in promoting the books to the right target audience. I also had a bookstore event. Here at Owl's Nest, I went there and I wanted my book to be on the stands. So if you go on the left-hand side on the second shelf, my book was actually on the stand. It sold almost all copies. You have an opportunity to go there, connect with them, and say, I'd like to put the book on the stand, and usually they'll take it. There is a form that you need to fill, and it'll be sold. The profits or the amount will come to you only after it is sold, and you have to have a certain an agreement with them. I was really glad that my book came on the stands, and it was among authors that are very well established. So I thought it was a win for me. Even if I got that into the shelf, it was a win for me. It was a big day for me when my books got on the actual stands. What I did was I also did that event for the bookstore. I did an event online. It was a Q&A session for any people who wanted to ask me questions. So this particular store has an online following of people who want to hear about new books. It's like a book club in a community where when there are new authors coming, they create an event for that particular community, and you can promote your book, let them ask questions and such. Another way of promoting yourself and the book is to have community events. Here in this event, this was a totally free event for the Immigrant Services Calgary on how to do very well in behavior-based interviews. This was about a 1-hour event. I got to talk about what I'm passionate about. I am passionate about promoting people, helping people on building a good resume and presenting themselves well for an interview. I share my personal experiences during these on, how when I first went for an interview, it was an utter failure, and how I had to build my own confidence and how I had to prepare myself for a good interview. So I tell them my personal experiences, and towards the end, there is a Q&A session as well. And I also share my book with them. If they want to go ahead and purchase it through Amazon, they can do that too. Here is an event where I went for the Red FM interview. I connected with Red FM and told them that I am promoting my book. They called me for an event. I actually presented a copy of my book, and there was an interview, and it went live on Red FM. So that was a good opportunity for me to connect with the community. It was in their language. It was in an Indian language, Hindi. I communicated in that language as well. And one thing I did was I offered a free book for people who connected with me that same day. I also offered a series of coaching sessions as well. So that way I could get to that community, I could get to the audience in a very personalized manner. And a lot of people, a lot of media will be willing to take your book, willing to communicate with you. They want to know more about what you have done. So always go forward, connect with them in order to get your word out for your book. This was an book unveiling ceremony that we did. Once this information was shared online, once I published the book, someone from the community of Canadian Career Network contacted me to do a book unveiling event. It was a couple of months after, but this was like an official launch for me to get to a lot of people. So there were a few more people. Shelley Goldbeck also co-authored my book. She also participated in this event. There were a lot of people present. It was communicated widely, and I could get to a larger audience with this book unveiling. As you can see, this was about 3 years ago. This went live and the total views were 7,000. I wish 7,000 of my books sold, but again, I could reach to that many people at that time, which I thought was really wonderful. And I got a lot of support from that community, which was amazing. So the next one I would talk about, this actually covers a little bit of what I said before, is to run targeted promotions. Remember, I told you about creating an email list. For your email list, you can give some specific discounts and targets and giveaways as well. So if you provide them with information on discounts and giveaways, they can utilize that. We already spoke about the book unveiling and ad campaigns as well. There are several campaigns that you can run, which are not free. So if you want to utilize that, you can do that too. You can run Facebook ads, which are paid ads, and it will be to your targeted audience as well. And the next one would be collaborations. Here, when I wrote my book, one chapter was co-authored by Shelley Goldbeck. We did an interview together to promote our book. So collaborating with Shelley on my book, this was one aspect. There are various other collaborations that you can do. I collaborated with several organizations that can benefit from the book as well. So think about your target audience and think about what collaborations you can have. You could have an Instagram collaboration with somebody who is writing a book in the same genre, and both sides can benefit as well. So I think I have covered 5 different aspects of how to promote your book. What I can do is, if you have any questions, feel free to put in the chat as well. I want to thank everybody for listening to me this morning, and we will have a Q&A session later. Again, thank you all for listening, and now I'd like to give the virtual lectern back to Zanka.